science. I don't know anything about rockets. You know, when people say it's not rocket science, they're talking about me. Not that I don't love space and all the wonderful things that it's produced. Tang. Pretty good Tom Hanks movie. You guys discovered the Van Allen belt, the Van Allen suspenders, the Van Allen sock garters. Thanks to you, we know that the ozone is thinning. There's a hole in the ozone. We need earth rogaine. You know, actually, as a kid, I wanted to be an astrophysicist. I wanted to be in the forefront of space exploration. Then I found out science involves math. And I don't know how much a whole mess of nines are. So I became a liberal arts major, or as you in the world of science call it, an idiot. Directly to my career as a journalist. I'm stupid about science. Frankly, I'm too stupid to be speaking to you here tonight. But in fairness to myself, I'm not just stupid, I am a student of stupidity. I am a political reporter. We live in a democracy, rule of the people. 50% of people are below average intelligence. Even I know enough math to get that. And this tells us everything we need to know about politics. And you, involved in America's space programs, you are at the total mercy of politics. You are engaged in what is probably the most highly politicized endeavor in the history of mankind since Bill Clinton's sixth sex life. If I don't understand space, I can still go there. If you don't understand politics, you ain't going anywhere. Now, there are a number of reasons for space exploration being so politicized. There are defense considerations, of course. Current crisis in the Middle East, for instance. If it weren't for the intelligence gathered by spy satellites, we wouldn't know exactly where to go and pound sand in Libya. There are considerations of national prestige. I'm old enough to remember on October 4th, 1957, how humiliated and shocked and embarrassed everyone in America, especially the boys in my 5th grade class, were when Russia launched Sputnik, and further humiliation was what was to come when Yuri Gagarin, a Russian, became the first man in space. We didn't realize back then that people would do anything, even be launched into space to get out of Russia. But the real reason for space being political is more simple. Money. Money. Space exploration is expensive. And until very recently, the only people willing to spend that amount of money have been governments. At the moment, it costs $10,000 a pound to send a payload into orbit. Information I got from Wikipedia, where all good journalists go when they don't know what they're talking about. $10,000 a pound, by my calculation, that means for a private individual, the only thing worth shipping in a launch vehicle is cocaine. Now, maybe we are entering an era where private enterprise will be the driving force behind space exploration. President Obama has said he wants to use private enterprise in space exploration, and that's great because it's the only nice thing President Obama has ever had to say about private enterprise. SpaceX, to whom we owe that excellent dinner, is working, as we saw, on Falcon Heavy, and hope that they can get the cost of sending something into orbit down to $1,000 a pound. I figured it out on a calculator. $1,000 a pound is almost exactly what it will cost me to send my kids to college. And Virgin Galactic, they're big on space tourism, which I think is a wonderful thing. I've got a whole list of people I'd like to blast into space. Starting with Hugo Chavez, who said that capitalism may have destroyed life on Mars, and you should know he's from there. Plus, space tourists will be dressed in spacesuits, which is a big improvement on flip-flops, wife-beater shirts, and polyester shorts a yard wide across the body. For the foreseeable future, governments are still going to be paying for most of space exploration. That puts all of you in the position of being Washington lobbyists. I'm sorry, you know, it didn't come out quite like I meant it. I mean, I didn't mean it as an insult. Actually, I mean Washington lobbyists as a compliment. I have to explain. When I first went to Washington as a political journalist, I had the usual political journalist prejudice against lobbyists. You know? I thought lobbyists were these smart operators who used their smarts to twist government policy and get special treatment for their business clients. And then one night I was having a drink with a congressional staffer friend, and I said something about what smart operators I thought lobbyists were. And my congressional staffer friend, he said, lobbying isn't about being smart. Lobbying is about being stupid. And I said, well, lobbyists aren't stupid. And he said, of course not. Congressmen are stupid. He said, you take a congressman from Oregon where there's a big timber industry. Now, he is perfectly capable of introducing a bill in Congress requiring all motor vehicles to burn wood instead of gasoline. He gets together with another congressman from Maine, and you've got a bill requiring all motor vehicles to burn wood and potatoes. Two of them join up with a congressman from California, and pretty soon you've got a law that your car has to be fueled by wood, potatoes, and the star power of Natalie Portman. If it weren't for lobbyists, said my congressional staffer friend, he said, laws like that would get passed all the time without anybody ever hearing a word of objection from car makers, fuel refiners, or Natalie Portman's agent. You know? Now, my staffer friend didn't mean that congressmen are stupid in the low IQ sense, although that happens. He meant that everybody in a business knows his or her business. We know our own business. But a congressman is expected to know everybody's business. And it can't be done. And this is why business people, including you people in the space exploration business, have to stand up for themselves and give politicians the business by lobbying them. But as lobbyists, you're in a tough position right now. I mean, what with the deficit and the national debt and all that, congressmen are looking everywhere for budget cuts. Everywhere, that is, but in their own congressional districts. See, if you had launch pads in 435 places around the country, you're in a tough position. Tough, but not impossible. Now, I myself, I am a conservative Republican budget hawk. I want to cut all government spending. I want to means test the interstate highway system, you know? Yo, you in the Escalade, buy your own I-70, you know? But I still support funding for NASA. Increased funding. For one thing, NASA's budget, just $19 billion. I love government. I mean, if it weren't for government, where else would you get a chance to say a phrase like, it's just $19 billion? It's just $19 billion. That's about $60 for every person in America. I can't see the Red Sox for $60, you know? It's sad, you know? $19 billion. It costs $50 billion to bail out General Motors. Now, I would rather shoot money into space than give a cash enema to GM, you know? Space exploration is one of the few government programs that is not completely screwed up, you know? Compare it to No Child Left Behind.
Oh.
What if they deserve to be left behind? What if they deserve a smack on the behind? National testing program to test whether kids are what? Stupid? You've got kids. Kids are stupid. Or Compare space exploration to Social Security. That chain letter is about to run out of suckers. You know the deal with Social Security. You put your name on the bottom of the list, mail a check for $1,193 to everyone over 65, break the chain, and you'll never be elected to national political office. No money in the Social Security trust fund.